Babara sat on a large rock, staring at nothing. The sun was hot, beating on his back. His apes were spread around him, quiet and tired. Their bellies growled. They hadn't eaten well in days. He picked at his teeth with a bone, thinking about better days, when they took what they wanted, when fear was on their side. That's when he heard someone crashing through the bushes. A scout ran out, breathless, eyes wide with panic. My liege, he cried, falling to his knees. Babara perked up, straightening. A grin spread across his face. Finally. Tell me, is it done? Has Shumba been destroyed? The scout shook his head wildly, his whole body trembling. No, my liege, no. Koza has failed. Babara's face fell. The bone in his hand snapped in two. What? His voice was low, dangerous. The scout flinched. Koza tried, but he was destroyed. Their god, Naraka, came down, killed him. Shumba lives. Babara's eyes burned. He stood up slowly. The other apes backed away. He looked around at them, at their hollow cheeks, their thin arms, his own people, his warriors. Koza promised me, Babara growled. He promised me he would destroy Shumba, that he would end this. And now he's dead? The scout nodded, shaking. Babara turned and spat on the ground, his hands curled into fists so tight his claws dug into his palms. Shumba is the reason we're here, he shouted now, voice echoing in the clearing. We lost our food, we lost our lands, he humiliated us, forced us into the shadows. The apes listened, silent. Some of them looked down, others avoided his gaze. Babara's voice dropped to a growl. I will not starve out here like a wounded animal. I will not beg. We are apes. We take. He jabbed a clawed finger at the scout. If Koza failed, then I will finish it. I will do what he couldn't. He looked at his warriors, one by one. We will march back. We will crush Shumba. We will burn his village to ash. And when we are done, our children will feast on their grain. Their water will be ours. Some of the apes nodded. Others beat their chests slowly. The fear was still there, but Babara's rage lit a fire in them. He bared his teeth in a snarl. If we don't do this, we die out here. Starve. Is that what you want? A chorus of angry growls rose around him. Babara lifted his chin. Then gather your weapons. We move at dawn. He turned away, the fire in his eyes unquenchable. He would destroy Shumba himself, or die trying. You are watching the Tales of the Savannah. Subscribe and be part of the tribe. Now let's get back to the story. The god sat in perfect silence. The air was heavy with power. The god of the universe sat on his high throne, looking over them all with calm eyes. He lifted his hand. The room fell even quieter.
The games are about to begin,
he said, his voice deep and clear.
Gods, it is time to choose who you want to challenge.
He looked at Naraka, the champion, undefeated, proud, standing like a mountain among them.
Naraka is our reigning champion,
the god of the universe continued.
But only the best may face him. Only those who win their own battles will earn that right.
The room buzzed, gods shifted in their seats. Power crackled like fire in the air. And then, movement. The eagle god stood up tall, his wings spreading wide. He looked around the hall with cold eyes.
I challenge the dragon god,
he said.
He has bothered me for centuries with his arrogance. And frankly, I don't like how he looks.
There was laughter in the hall. The dragon god snorted smoke. He stood up slowly.
I accept,
he growled. The gods roared with cheers and laughter. The god of the universe allowed himself the smallest smile. And then, movement. The moon goddess then stood, radiant and pale.
I challenge the sun god,
she said softly.
I am tired of your light swallowing my night.
The sun god grinned, blazing. He rose.
I accept.
The gods roared with cheers and applause. The god of the universe allowed himself the smallest smile. Next, the god of harvest stood, straw and grain woven in his robes.
I challenge the god of famine,
he said, voice heavy.
You bring ruin to my fields, no more.
The god of famine sneered, thin and hollow-eyed. He rose.
I accept.
Applause shook the room. Some cheered, some shivered. It was beautiful chaos. Then, the forest god stood up. Silence fell for a moment. Many respected him. He looked around the hall calmly.
I challenge the desert god,
He said.
Your sand spread too far, encroaching on my lush forests. Let's settle this.
The desert god sneered, sand swirling at his feet. He stood.
I accept.
The crowd roared with approval. The snake goddess sat quietly, watching. Beside her, Morningstar elbowed her with a teasing grin. This is your moment, he whispered. Stop waiting. She pushed his elbow away, annoyed. Stop it, I'll stand, just let them finish. One by one, the challenges were made. The crowd was ablaze with applause and shouts. Finally, she took a deep breath and stood. The entire room fell silent. Even the god of the universe leaned forward slightly.
Yes, snake goddess,
He said.
who do you challenge?
She glanced at Morningstar, who nodded at her, encouraging. She cleared her throat. I challenge the hunter goddess. The room exploded in noise, cheers, gasps, laughter, shouts. The hunter goddess stood slowly, meeting her eyes.
I accept.
If the room had been loud before, it now felt like it would burst. Gods stood. Some stomped their feet. Applause thundered. What a match, someone shouted. This will be the fight of the century. The god of the universe watched with shining eyes. He lifted his hand slowly. The room calmed. He looked over them all with restrained excitement.
Is there anyone else who wishes to challenge a god or goddess?
He asked. The room fell still. Then Morningstar stood up. A ripple went through the gods. Whispers, gasps. All eyes turned. The god of the universe fixed his gaze on him.
Yes, Morningstar,
The god of the universe said, voice low. Some gods started muttering. He's not a god, someone shouted. He's an angel, a singer. Morningstar turned slowly, his eyes bright, a sly smile on his lips.
I am a god. I have those who honor me, who pray to me. Is that not what makes a god?
Silence, he was right. The god of the universe looked at him carefully, his fingers drumming his throne.
I will allow it.
He said finally. Morningstar smiled wider.
I challenge Hades, the god of the underworld.
Silence fell like a heavy blanket. Even the wind seemed to stop. Gasps spread like wildfire. Nobody dared to challenge Hades. He hadn't even participated in the last games. He rarely left his underworld realm. He only appeared at council meetings, sometimes not even then. He was quiet, reserved, ancient. Eyes turned to him, waiting. Hades sat there in the shadows, unmoving for a moment. Then, slowly, very slowly, he smiled. A small, knowing, dangerous smile. He straightened, his dark robes falling around him like night itself. He rose to his feet. The air grew colder. He looked right at Morningstar.
I accept.
He said simply. His voice was deep, calm, and final. The room erupted. If they had been wild before, it was nothing compared to this. Gods stood and cheered. Some stomped the floor. Others shouted in disbelief. Did you hear that? Hades accepted. Morningstar is mad. This will be the fight of the century. The god of the universe watched it all, eyes bright, lips tight with the smallest smile. He lifted his hands again. Slowly, the hall calmed down. But the energy was electric. Even the world below felt it. People looked up at clear skies, sensing thunder in their bones. This year's games would be the greatest ever. And the god of the universe sat back on his throne, his eyes gleaming. He tried to hide it, but he was delighted. He lived for this.
Go, prepare, train. In 7 days the games will begin. May the best god or goddess win,
he said, voice powerful, and the heavens roared in answer. Under the giant baobab tree, the witches of Makuru gathered in the dead of night. The moon was just a thin blade in the sky. Their cloaks rustled as they shifted, sitting in a tight circle on the cracked earth. Mother Superior's voice was cold. We were tricked. Silence. Akina spat on our law. She stole from us. Anita leaned forward, her eyes fierce. We cannot allow this. If one woman can cheat us, then any woman will try, another witch hissed. They will all think they can refuse the gift. They will refuse us. Mother Superior's eyes glowed in the firelight. That bloodline has mocked us, mocked all of us. They all murmured, their anger bubbling. We have kept these gifts alive for generations. We are the Sisterhood. We are the law. Our law is sacred. It is old. Older than any chief, older than any tribe. One witch, her voice twisted with hate, spat into the fire. We should kill them. Send a message. Mother Superior raised a hand. Death is too easy. They leaned in, listening. She spoke low, slow, each word like a blade. We will ruin them. We will crawl into their home like snakes. We will make them fear to sleep. We will make their dreams black. We will make their food rot in their mouths. Another witch grinned, teeth yellow in the firelight. Snakes, owls screaming at their roof, shadows in their doorway. Yes, Mother Superior said, let them hear voices in the night. Let them see things moving in the dark. Let the village whisper that Akina is a witch. Another voice, sharp with delight. Make her own people cast her out. Let her wander with the dogs. Let her eat dust. Let her see what it is to be nothing. Anita added eagerly. We can make Chippo fall in the market, shaking, foaming. Every time she laughs, let her seize. Let them pity her, fear her. A young witch swallowed, eyes wide. What if they beg? What if they say sorry? Mother Superior turned, her stare deadly. We do not forgive. Akina will regret this, Mother Superior said. She will curse the day she was born. And when she begs for mercy, we will turn our backs, because our law is our blood. And she broke it. A harsh laugh. Let them know the Sisterhood is watching. Let them never forget. The witches began to chant, low, dangerous. The baobab's branches shook, though there was no wind. Their voices rose, punish, curse, break, ruin. The fire flared high, then died. Darkness swallowed them, and in that blackness, their hate burned hotter than the flames ever could. Vimbai, Vimbai, the voice was low, urgent. Vimbai was outside humming as she washed dishes in a big metal basin. She stopped, blinking. Vimbai! She turned her head sharply. She frowned. Who's calling me? Vimbai! Over here. She squinted into the bushes. There, crouched and half hidden, was her older sister. Sekai. Is that you? Come here, Sekai hissed, eyes wide. Vimbai felt her heart beat faster. She whispered back without thinking. Why are you whispering? Just come. She walked closer, and then her eyes widened in shock. Sekai, where are your clothes? Sekai held up a finger to hush her. Shh, don't talk. Listen, go to my room and get me something to cover up. What happened to you? Just do it! Sekai's voice cracked. Vimbai rushed inside, confused and worried. She grabbed a cloth, ran back, and handed it over. Sekai wrapped herself quickly, eyes darting around. Then she ran. Vimbai just stood there, mouth open. She watched her sister sprint across the yard and vanish into their hut. Their mother came outside just then. She saw Sekai running and frowned deeply. Sekai never came back early from visiting their aunt. Never. And she usually stayed there for a few days. Their mother's eyes narrowed, but she said nothing. Inside her room, Sekai dropped onto the floor. She wrapped the cloth tighter around herself and let out a shaking breath. Her skin was covered in scratches. Her hair was tangled with bits of dry grass. She felt dirty, used. She trembled as she remembered the morning, how she'd woken up in Jabali's arms, how he'd whispered that he loved her in the night, how he'd pushed her away when Akina came, how he'd shoved her behind the door like she was nothing, how she'd run naked through the trees, branches cutting her, how the dog had barked at her back, nipping at her legs as she ran, making her scream. She closed her eyes, tears coming. Did he really love her? Or was she just another girl to him? That afternoon, a knock at the door. Vimbai went to check. A young boy handed her a folded paper. For Sekai, he said. She took it to her sister. Sekai opened it. Come to our usual place. I need to see you. No name. But she knew who it was. Jabali. Her stomach turned. Good, she spat, crumpling the paper in her fist. I'll tell him the truth. I'm done with him. When she arrived, he was already waiting. Jabali's face lit up when he saw her, but the smile dropped when he saw her scratches. Sekai, what happened to you? She glared at him. What happened to me? You ask like you don't know. What? Tell me. Her voice shook with anger. Your dog chased me. Jabali blinked, confused. What dog? We don't have a dog. Don't lie, that evil thing of yours. You mean porridge? Recognition dawned on his face, and then he started laughing. Porridge? Porridge chased you? He bent over, howling with laughter. Sekai's face twisted. I almost died. He laughed even harder, slapping his leg. She can't even bark properly. Jabali, this isn't funny. That's why she is called Porridge. She trips over her own feet. You're telling me Porridge almost killed you? He was crying with laughter now. Sekai's fists balled up. I'm serious. That dog is vicious. It should be put down. Jabali was choking with laughter now. Put down? You're mad. She's harmless. You don't get it. I was terrified, and you pushed me out there. You shoved me behind the door like I was trash. He stopped laughing then. He straightened up. His voice went low, soft. I did that to save you. No. You did that to save yourself. He stepped closer, his eyes locked onto hers. I didn't want Akina to see you. She would have killed us both. She blinked back tears. You made me feel worthless, he shook his head. Don't say that. Don't ever say that. She tried to pull away, but he held her hand. Sekai, listen. You know how I feel about you. She looked away. You know I love you. You know it. Why are you trying to end us? She turned away again, shaking her head. He slid a hand around her waist, pulling her gently back. Hey, don't do that. Don't pull away from me. Not when I need you. She felt his body hard and warm behind her, his voice a whisper in her ear. You feel that? You see what you do to me, Sekai? She swallowed. She could feel him growing against her. I want you. I need you. Don't deny this. Don't deny us. He turned her around, eyes locked on hers, thumb brushing her lip. We have something good here. You know we do. Say it. Say we do. She breathed heavily, her face hot. We did. We still do, he insisted. His voice cracked a little with hunger. He leaned in, kissing her softly at first, then hungrily. She resisted for a second, then melted into him. When he pulled back, he was grinning. That's my girl. She hit his chest lightly. Jabali, I'm still mad at you. He smirked, kissing her lips. Be mad later. Right now, just, be mine. She sighed. I shouldn't forgive you. But you will. Because you love me. He pressed himself against her. You love me, Sekai. She closed her eyes, letting his words sink in. Say it, he whispered. I love you. He smiled wide, victorious. Good. Now come here. He kissed her hard. She clung to him. He broke the kiss. Akina's going away with Chipo in 2 days. Come over. Let me show you how much I want you. How much I need you. She bit her lip, knowing she shouldn't. Say yes. She nodded slowly. He kissed her again, hands roaming. That's my girl, he murmured against her skin, and the forest held their secret, for now. Ziva walked into his castle, head low, shoulders heavy. The world felt like it was pushing him down. He was tired. He was sad. He needed comfort. He looked around the empty hall. He expected to see Amina there, waiting for him, smiling, asking him softly, What happened, my love? Tell me. But she wasn't there. He frowned. He called over one of his guards. Where is my wife? She went home yesterday, the guard said. Yesterday, Ziva repeated. He blinked. He realized then it had been 3 days. 3 days since he told her he wouldn't be long. He'd forgotten. He clenched his jaw. It was their honeymoon, and he'd left her alone. He emerged from the river and walked into the snake people's village. They were busy building. There was laughter, talk of trading with the merfolk. Children ran past him. He found her in the new throne room. She sat there with Kwame beside her, Kwame, tall, muscular, always leaning close, whispering something that made her smile. Ziva's stomach twisted. He doesn't need to sit that close, or smile that wide. Amina's eyes landed on Ziva. She didn't smile. Everyone, leave us. Kwame stood, bowing politely. Ziva held his gaze just a second too long. Kwame's eyebrow twitched, but he said nothing and left. Ziva watched the door shut, exhaling hard. Amina's voice was calm but cold. 3 days, Ziva. 3 days. You just left me. No word. Nothing. He swallowed. I'm sorry. My errand took too long. An errand that takes 3 days? Without a message? Ziva, is this what our marriage will be like? He stepped closer. Amina. My love. My wife. I didn't mean to stay away that long. She studied his face. Where did you go? He hesitated. I needed to clear my head. Her brow furrowed. Was it because of the wedding invitation? No, he said too quickly. Absolutely not. It wasn't that. Then what was it? It was, other things. I just needed time. She didn't shout. She didn't even sound angry. Just worried. Ziva, do you not want to be married to me? He felt that knife twist in his chest. He closed the space between them. No, he said firmly. That's not it, my love. She kept looking at him, searching for lies in his eyes, but she found none. He took her hands. His voice dropped to that teasing, honeyed tone that always worked. What do you want, darling? Tell me. You want gold, silver, diamonds? I can make it happen. An apology worthy of a queen. She huffed. A tiny smile betrayed her. You're ridiculous. You think you can throw gold at me? Or diamonds? Did I ever say I wanted that? He smirked. I don't know. You need to tell me what you want. I'll get it for you. Anything. Say the word. Her voice cracked a little as she finally let it out. I want you. I just want you. Is that so difficult to understand? He squeezed her hands. No, he whispered. It's not difficult at all. He kissed her soft, deep. She melted into it. For a moment there was no throne, no kingdom, no betrayal. Just them. When they pulled apart, she rested her forehead against his. She wasn't angry anymore, but her eyes were still careful, curious. She knew there was more he wasn't telling her, and she would find out. In the hall outside, Kwame waited. He stood stiff, jaw tight. He was part hunter, his hearing sharp as a knife. He could catch every muffled word, every shift of weight in the room. He listened. He always did. It was his hunter nature to do so. Kwame had never believed Ziva was the right match for Amina. He'd told her once. Careful words, respectful. But the truth all the same. Ziva was reckless, wild. Amina needed stability, respect, devotion. So Kwame waited there, quiet as a shadow, listening. And inside the room, Ziva knew he was there. Oh, he knew. He pressed Amina closer. He whispered her name. He kissed her slow, deep. He let his hand slide down her back, fingers teasing at her waist. And when she moaned softly, just for him, he smiled. A slow, arrogant, possessive smile. He held her tighter, because that was the message. She was his. He was the man of this house. And Kwame. He could keep listening all night if he wanted. And that, my dear tribe, brings us to the end of another episode in our Mermaid, Lion, People and Witches series. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This week, Babara returns and he is furious. When a scout reports that Koza has failed, Babara knows the time for waiting is over. He is determined to take matters into his own hands before his people starve. They leave at dawn, ready to change their fate. High above in the heavens, the God of the universe announces that the games are about to begin. The gods ready themselves to challenge one another, while Naraka waits patiently for the ultimate victor, who will earn the right to face him for the title of Heaven's champion. The snake goddess throws down her challenge to the hunter goddess, who accepts with gleeful anticipation. And in a shocking twist, Morningstar challenges Hades himself, thrilling and surprising everyone watching. Elsewhere deep in an ancient forest, the witches gather in secret council. They plan Akina's punishment with grim determination. There will be no mercy. She has defied the sacred line of the Sisterhood, and they intend to make her pay. Meanwhile, Sekai hides in the bushes, calling for her sister to bring something to cover herself. She's lost in doubt, wondering if Jabali truly loves her. When they meet later, after she receives his letter, Jabali laughs off her worries. Porridge couldn't have chased her away, he insists, charming her with his sweet words. She had meant to end things, but instead finds herself accepting another invitation to his home, this time perhaps for a night or two. Beneath the waves, Ziva realizes Amina has been gone for 3 days. He knows he must go see her, but there is unspoken tension between him and Kwame. Ziva, ever the strategist, has his own way of handling rivals. He lets Kwame hear exactly what passes between him and Amina. If Kwame is truly a hunter, perhaps he can put those keen ears to good use. Much to Kwame's quiet frustration. What will happen next, we'll just have to wait and see. Until then, stay wild, stay curious, and stay ready for what's to come. Want to support the channel and become an even bigger part of our tribe? You can join for as little as the cost of a coffee each month. Your support helps me continue creating the content you love, but of course, just having you here is already more than enough. Thank you for being part of this journey. A warm and heartfelt thank you to all the amazing tribe members who have chosen to join and support this incredible journey. Your belief in this channel means the world to me, and I'm so glad to have you along for the ride. And as always, thank you for watching our story, and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the tribe. Thank you for watching The Tales of the Savannah. We will see you next time in the Savannah.